You know what it is like when you eat a chocolate. When you eat a chocolate, you eat it and it's finished. I don't have a chocolate with me right now because if I had a chocolate with me, it'd probably be eaten. However, I do have an apple. And this is me eating an apple. Very good. Well, what I've found is that when I fill up with the good things in my life, then I'm less inclined to want to eat that chocolate that is so tempting and so easily ensnares us. Temptations are the same in the life of the spiritual Christian. You see, we know that which is good and we know that which is bad. And so when we fill up with that which is good and everything concerning that which is good, which is God and Christ whom He has sent, then we are filling up with that which fortifies us for God. When you focus on prayer and fasting and fellowship with believers and evangelism and praying in the Spirit to God for others and interceding for others, then most certainly you are filling up with things of the Spirit and become strong in God. And you will be less inclined to give in to the fleshly desires that tempt us every day and so easily ensnares us. That's why we read in Ephesians 4 and verse 22, you were taught with regard to your former way of life to put off your old self, which is being corrupted by its deceitful desires. Verse 23, to be made new in the attitudes of your minds, and to put on the new self, created to be like God in true righteousness and holiness. Can you think it? Can you even imagine true righteousness and holiness being put on all the more and the more as He makes us that which He is making us every day all the more? From glory to glory, the Lord sanctifies us. After justification, it is an onward adventure from sanctification to sanctification. And it is not a level of up and down. It is a personal journey, which is like an adventure to take. It's the reality of life. And we ought to fill up on God in order to take on life. Otherwise, we'll most certainly lose life, not having been taught the things that equip us to keep life. And who is the preserver of men? The preserver of life. It is that light which came into the world, which was also the light and the life of men. And so there was a grandfather one day that told a story to his grandson. And he said, my dear boy, I want you to listen very closely now. You see, there's two wolves that are raging inside Grandpa's heart. And the one wolf is anger, violence, jealousy, deceitfulness, selfishness. The one wolf cares only for itself, but the other wolf is compassionate. The other wolf is patient. The other wolf knows love. The other wolf is wise. But this isn't only inside my own chest, he said. This is a war raging inside all of us, my boy. Inside your chest as well. Inside your brother's chest. Inside your mom's chest. In all of us, there is this great controversy raging. But the little boy looked up and in anxiousness asked his grandpa, well, Grandpa, which wolf will win? And Grandpa answered him and he said, the one you feed. The one you feed is the one who will win. And so feed yourself those things that promote life in the Spirit. Feed yourself by keeping the good things of life in front of you and filling yourself up with the good things. You see, when you eat more healthy food, you don't feel as inclined to want to eat the chocolates. But when you eat a lot of chocolates, you don't really feel inclined to want to eat an apple. And so you get the toffee apple, which is a mixture of both. And of course, there is always a way to slither in some of the bad, but recognize it for what it is, and then choose the right, so that you may be able to stand in the evil day, having done all to stand. And so this is putting on the armor of God that we find in Ephesians 6. And having done all we can, coming closer unto God, seeking God and His will so that our judgment may be right. You see, when you fill up with bad things, things that aren't good for you, then your judgment is not correct. Your ability to judge has been squandered. It has been made crooked. You see, there's an old saying that says, never go to the shop when you're hungry. You know why that is. First eat something, then go to the shop. Because if you go to the shop while you're hungry, you're finished. You know you're not going to get past the pie store. You're going to be more inclined to buy things that you don't need and that you don't need to eat at least as well. But if you first eat something good, you fill up with good things, then you will be less inclined to do that which is wrong. Luke 10 verse 27 says, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your strength, with all your soul. Your eyes, like I said before, are the windows to your soul. Therefore take great care what you fill in your soul with through your eyes. What you keep before your eyes is what you will fill your soul with. And you have heard it said that you are what you eat. Well, as also what you watch and what you hear. And so we know that faith comes from hearing and hearing from the Word of God. So when we read the Word of God and we fill our minds with the Word of God, because we read it, therefore we see it, it goes into our soul, and therefore we speak and we say that which we are reading. And then as we speak it, we hear it. All three faculties joining in congruence and solidifying us, welding us, as it were, onto Christ through His Word, so that He is the authority that reigns over us having been filled with Christ. It cannot be helped that Christ will be seen on the outside as well then. Maybe not in form, but in that which is inside. The formation of our hearts and our minds being formed as Christ's is formed. And therefore we are to ask God to fill us up. Fill us up, Lord. Fill us up to the brink and have our cups flowing over, so that we may say, my cup floweth over. My cup floweth over. Oh, fill it up, Lord, and let it overflow. Oh, fill it up and let it overflow. Oh, fill it up and let it overflow. Let it overflow with love.